You are listening to the most original talk radio station anywhere. We are LA Talk Radio at latalkradio.com.
You're listening to Oscar's Guitar Shop with Oscar Jordan, right here on LA Talk Radio.
I'd sit this one out, Cap.
I don't see how I can.
These guys come from legend. They're basically gods.
There's only one God, ma'am. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of Oscar's Guitar Shop. Hey. Hello. Hello. As you probably know, I'm Vintage Guitar Magazine contributing writer Oscar Jordan. And I'm a free man with a free mind. That's right. Don't you forget it.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
I can. Glad to be here. Hey, if you'd like to support Oscar's Guitar Shop, go to oscarsguitarshop.com, click donations to the show. If you donate $30 or more, you'll be entered into Oscar's Guitar Shop sweepstakes, where the winner will receive a 1-year subscription to Music Connection magazine and an analog mic modded Boss DS1 distortion pedal. The winner will be announced on August 9th. Go to oscarsguitarshop.com. Do it and win. Oscar's Guitar Shop is powered by Music Connection magazine, informing music people, industry professionals, and support services since 1977. Visit them at musicconnection.com. Also, True Tone Music. Visit them at truetonemusic.com, making your music come to life. And last but not least, Mojave Ampworks. Visit the Oasis of Tone at mojaveampworks.com. Find out what Peter Frampton, Billy Gibbons, and George Lynch are talking about all at the same time, jamming to Show Me the Way. mojaveampworks.com. And now, it's time.
For 20 long years, I had a secret. I could not read music. But now, thanks to Hooked on Funk, I'm a free man! Child! This is my life, it's not for sale. I won't be a fool in your school of misinformation. Not a puppet for your world domination. I have a soul and a mind as well. Don't think that you can tell me lies. I realize the truth. I'm a free man with a free mind. I have a dream. Computerized, paralyzed, hypnotized, I realize it's time to stop. I'm the water, rushing, hear the sound like a sun shower. All the colors of the rainbow flowing down from the mountain, from the mountain, from the mountain. I'm a free man with a free mind. I have a dream. I am young, but my soul is on the run. If you look, you will see there is something for you and me. I
David Fuczynski has been messing with my mind for a very long time. I'm a serious Screaming Headless Torsos fan, and what Fuze does on the guitar makes you want to run home, quit your job, lock the door, and reinvent yourself. In addition to changing the chemical composition of our brains with the way people think about melding hip-hop, funk, bebop, rock and metal with Screaming Headless Torsos, Professor Fuze has recorded and performed with KIF, Michel Ende Cello, hey, I spelled that right, I think I said it, Ende Cello, John Medeski, Dennis Chambers, Jack DeJohnette, Marcus Miller, Bernie Worrell, and Stuart Copeland, to name a few. His ongoing fascination with microtonal harmony and strange guitars can be heard on last year's Planet Micojam, in which he injects his music with splashes of classical influences, folk melodies, jazz, and unadulterated funkiness. As director of the Microtonal Groove Institute at the Berklee College of Music, Professor Fuze calls himself the Gauguin of fusion. Why? Because he mixes colorful elements from both East and West with raw power and musicality. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my sincere pleasure to welcome you and him and the world to this guy who I met at the NAMM show a couple years ago who was really cool. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Fuczynski. Hey there, how you doing, man?
Oscar, what an introduction.
How the hell are you, sir? I'm sorry, I should call you Professor, right?
Thank you so much for having me on your show. Just to be sure, though, I've never called myself the Gauguin of fusion. People often ask me, what is this microtonal thing about? And I've been trying to come up with a description, and I really love painting and colors, and my attempt is to try and do something like a Gauguin. He mixed Eastern and Western elements in a very colorful way, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, you're definitely doing it. Well, actually, I found that quote, and I just thought that was like perfect, because that's exactly what you do. And I'm a big art fan, and so that's it. I'm listening and I'm hearing what he's doing with painting.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Gauguin.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's just great stuff, man. So how have you been?
Hanging in there, trying to do the do, you know.
Yeah, you staying busy, staying off the streets?
Doing the best I can. Yeah, I've been playing a lot with Rujesh Mahantapa.
Oh.
He's a fantastic saxophone player. And he, although he was born in the States here, over the last 10 years or so, he really got into his Indian background and studied and so forth, and re-released a CD called Gamak this year. And it's really right up my alley, where I was able to use all these Eastern inflections and my microtonal knowledge. He would throw modes at me, and I had to figure out how to comp and solo over them. It's really exciting.
Wow, that must be really challenging. Yeah, so I mean, so what's that like? I mean, you're on the fringes of just really great kind of challenging music, and that must be really cool to have someone like that to collaborate with, who just kind of throws you curveballs in a world where it's pretty straightforward, huh?
I have to tell you, there's only a handful of people who can do this, and it's great to have somebody to collaborate with. I mean, he is really one of a kind. He is truly one of a kind, and it was a real honor that he kind of wrote this record with me in mind. It's been really, really great. It's also been the hardest thing I've ever done. I mean, these Indian rhythms are just over the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just weird odd time signatures, it's then the polyrhythms inside those time signatures. So really it was a long learning curve for me, but it's been so gratifying.
Very cool. To people out in guitar radio land who are not familiar with your work in terms of your interest in microtonal harmony, can you just give us a brief summary about what that's all about?
Sure. There's a lot of music out there. I think musicologists estimate that the world's music is about 80% microtonal. Microtonal really means using tuning systems that are different than what we have. We use, here in the West, we use 12 notes per octave. There are a lot of other tuning systems out there. A lot of Arabic music is based on 24 notes per octave. Turkish music is based on 54 notes per octave. And it's not always equal tempered either. But what's really exciting is that you can come up with completely new modes and sounds and melodies. And I kind of compare this a little bit to the blues. You know, all those sweet bends and so forth, those blue notes, the notes that you can't find on the piano, that a guitar player would play, let's say, against what a keyboard player would play. That rub is what really turns me on. And what I hear is kind of when I first heard Turkish or Vietnamese music is, to me, they sound like Eastern blue notes. So I've been trying to incorporate that in my own music and add a harmonic perspective to it.
Yeah, I noticed you get that with using fretless guitars, as well as the way you use a whammy bar. And I've always just thought that was really cool and unique, the way you handle that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I've always actually, I guess I've always been microtonal. I was always into bending and slurring and, you know, being influenced by people like Hendrix and Alan Holdsworth and Steve Vai and their whammy bar techniques. And then moving to a fretless, it's basically, you know, each string in a way is on a whammy bar because there are no frets, so you can place your finger wherever you want, and that way access a bunch of slides, glisses, trills, and then for me also harmony. That in jazz and groove music just really doesn't exist. It's kind of exciting. You can be a little bit like Captain Kirk and in the jazz and groove universe, go where no man or woman has gone before. It's exciting.
That is cool. My question is, because I've been listening to you for a long, long time, and you've been a big influence on me, and just in the sense of freedom that I really enjoy about your playing.
Thank you.
But with that freedom, there's a price.
There's a price.
Now, when you play microtonally, with either the fretless or the whammy bar, is there ever a problem with intonation with the other instruments?
I like to joke when I play for an audience that if they hear anything out of tune, it's definitely me. Well, first of all, you have to really, really tune. Close enough for rock and roll is not cutting it anymore.
Right.
And then what I do is, with the keyboard player, we work off of a 24 note per octave grid. So he'll have two keyboards, and the top keyboard will be tuned a quarter tone sharp. So we have, just like in any piece of music, there's an agreement in advance of what chord you're going to play here, what melody, what lines, and so forth. What can you play? What can't you play? What is more consonant, what is more dissonant. So there's actually no intonation problems at all. It's just it's not easy to play, but you can. Well, and the odd thing is you can actually play more in tune if you so desire, because our equals 12 notes per octave system is a compromise, especially on guitar. If you tune your guitar up and you have it well set up and you play triads, you know, the major thirds, they're always a little edgy. They're always a little sharp.
Yeah.
On the fretless, I can play completely natural overtone, just intoned triads that are actually much more in tune than you'll hear on a regular guitar. So it goes either way. I can play, I mean, I know this is relative, but I can play a lot more in or out of tune in any given moment.
I gotcha. Yeah, and you know what? It's always something anyway, and so you just got to do your thing. It's always something.
Yeah, that's right.
On the stage, you know.
I like to joke that you know, all these like tuning, Buzzy Phaeton and so forth that are helping us play the guitar more in tune. I think that, you know, when the day actually comes that we can completely tune our guitars, I can just see a bunch of guitar players in the studio, and where a producer says, that sounds nice, but can we get that old 60s kind of in tune, out of tune kind of sound?
Can you play sharp, please? You know?
Yeah, can you play a little more sharp, you know, the way they used to?
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, man, I'm going to play another track from your back catalog with Screaming Headless Torsos. Okay. And then I would like to get into the new stuff that you're doing with them and become enlightened. Hold on one second. This next tune is it's from the album Screaming Headless Torsos Live, and it's called Word to Herb.
Oh, yeah.
December gave us a song, call it a night in Tunisia. The melody that lingers on. It was new and it was strange. It was the night off the stage. Fall if you couldn't play along, but the melody still lingers on. It paved the way for generations from Coltrane to Stevie. No one could stop the whims of Chambers. When and then where would we be? The Duke and the Press were there before. If the faster can't take now, the torches they will keep the flame, and the melody remains the same. While I give you, I'm shell away, but I will bomb it out. Set fire to people all the time.
Oh, I love this shit. Yeah. Oh, man. God damn. David.
Thank you. Glad you like it.
I am
the
so...
audience likes it too.
You know what? I do. It's just so wonderful. I have this show, right? And I can like share this music that I love so much with people. And it just feels so good, man. And I just want to thank you for coming on the show. I just wore this stuff out, man. I've been wearing out your records for so long, and you've just been a big inspiration to me as a guitar player, and it's just really great to just ask. I can ask you anything I want. It's amazing. Anything.
Maybe we should have some questions from the audience.
Well, it'd be nice. I think we might get a few calls, but they're like intimidated because you're such a monster guitar player. So I don't know people. Because you know what? Seriously though, I remember I met you at this is maybe I want to say it was last year, or the year before, but it was at the NAMM show, and you were doing some demos, and I mean you were playing some wicked stuff, man, and I was just like, damn, and there was a crowd and everything, and they were just like Jaws, man. Jaws were just dropped, and they didn't even know how to talk. They like forgot how to speak, and so maybe that's the effect you have on people. That's the price you pay for practicing a lot of guitar. That's it.
Maybe they were standing there and wondering, why is that guy playing out of tune?
That's it. That's what happened. Yeah. Well, I speaking of practicing, I want to get to the torsos, but I was reading some stuff about you, and you have this quote that and you talk about how you used to practice, and the quote goes, I practiced 11 hours a day for 3 months straight every day, and the only thing it got me was tendinitis.
Yeah, that's true. Well, first of all, I've been working my way up 2, 4, 6, 8 hours. I was in between schools. I was accepted at doing the conservatory, but not I had to wait a semester. Mm-hmm. So I really have to give my dad credit. He paid for an apartment and a teacher, so I got a great teacher, Randy Roos, in Boston. Mm-hmm. And I had stuff to work on, and I was really serious. But I practiced wrong. I focused. I was young, and I wanted to, play fast and scale. So it was the wrong way of practicing. I should have learned more tunes, and inside a musical context, should have learned modes and melodic development and so forth. But instead, it was just, constantly making the metronome faster and faster and trying to play these licks. And the human body has limits,
Right.
And so, yeah, the only thing I got out of that was tendonitis. It did me no good whatsoever. And even the times when I was practicing 6 to 8 hours a day, it's really, there's a much better and much healthier way that if I could start all over again, I would definitely not do what I did before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in that interview, you stress getting away from scalar activity and thinking more melodically, or playing actual melodic lines as opposed to da 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 da, up and down. And
yeah,
and that
well, if you think about it, da 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 da, that's in a way the most useless thing there is. I'm very practical, and what I mean is, the normal thing is to play what you practiced.
Mm-hmm.
And if you only practice da 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 da, that's what you're going to do, and that's what your solo is going to sound like. Da 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 da. That's not happening. That's not what the masters do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
What I do now is I push melodic development, and I've seen shocking results with students of all levels, and very quickly. It's something you need to practice, and it's not so much hours and hours a day. It's a consistency thing. If you do this every day for even 30 minutes a day, you have to do at least that. But if, let's say, I'll have a student come to me and they say, "Can you show me arpeggio playing?" In the meantime, I've gotten older and crunchier. Now I just say no.
Crotchety. You're all crotchety now.
But I tell them, look, at the end of this weather report tune called Pomona, there's a really melodic arpeggio. It's like, I'm not singing it right, but if you check it out, I say, let's check this out. Let's analyze it. It's kind of a B Phrygian thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now learn that, and learn to imitate that shape, starting on the root, the flat 9, the flat 3, the 5, the flat 7, and do it in your own way, and do it very, very slowly. And then take it out of that musical context and, let's say, put it into a blues or something that you're practicing with your band, or a tune you like. And I don't care if it's a heavy metal player or a bluegrass player, but they take this melodic development concept and they learn how to develop melodies. And if you want to play a lot of fast lines, learn some of your favorite licks, and then push those licks up and down this fretboard. And then take it outside of that musical context and put it into your musical context. And then once you can do this easily, you can take out, let's say, this weather report lick or a Jimi Hendrix thing you're working on, and then you insert your own ideas. And usually a semester is a good length. I've seen shocking results where someone will come in at the beginning of the semester and be a very good guitar player. By the end of the semester, you can already hear them developing their own ideas and their own personality. It's amazing. It's really gratifying to watch this.
Right.
And if I started all over again, that would be, it's to the point where I tell people, if I had to cancel my lessons with you the entire semester, and if I only had 5 minutes to teach you something, it would be that, because it's a gold mine.
Mm-hmm. So just specifically, just kind of taking a melody from somewhere and, say, playing that in different keys in a different musical context, for example. It's
not different keys, it's just different places in the mode. For example, if you take
different steps.
Like Cool Blues by Charlie Parker. If you just take the first lick, and just push that up and down the next, and do it in a way that's, very slowly, where you can do this intuitively and imitate the shape. Then you change it, then you push it through all of the chords of a blues. And then you take it outside of that blues, that context, and put it, let's say, into a different tune. Let's say, like Donna Lee, or like a funk riff, or something like that. That's how you build vocabulary.
Right.
That's how you really start to, your solo vocabulary will build, because now you have now that lick belongs to you, and you can do with it whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. And realistically, you can probably add a new lick to your playing, a new melodic device to your playing every other day. So again, if we're talking about a semester, we're talking about at least 2 or 3 a week, about 12 or 15 a month, and, you can see where this is going.
Yeah.
It's explosive. It really is.
I wonder if I could go home after this interview. I will transcribe the introduction to the 60s television show Hogan's Heroes.
How does that go?
That goes da 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 da.
Okay.
Or it could be Bewitched.
Mm-hmm.
Those, any kind of melody, and I can put it somewhere. No one would ever know where it came from, maybe, and it would just give me some good licks, just to have the melody that I can move around and shift at different points in the scale.
If that's your favorite lick, and that's key, because sometimes people think like they have to learn something that they don't like, and that's something that I have a problem with. Yeah, but if that's your favorite lick, absolutely.
Or Bewitched. I could take the Bewitched theme and do the same thing. And that that is the point, is that people like there might be some rockabilly guys, listening. You can do the same thing in that context, taking a melody or a line and moving it around and playing it a different and using it.
Absolutely.
Lick vocabulary.
This is not style specific.
Mm-hmm.
This can be, you could take something from Stravinsky and insert it into a Meshuggah thing.
Yeah.
And go Meshuggah.
You could. Go Meshuggah on your ass. Cool. I want to play. You sent me a couple of new tracks from Screaming Headless Torsos. This track.
Yes. We've been promising for a long time.
Oh man,
and
it's like
we've been threatening. And next year in the spring, there's going to be a new Screaming Headless Torsos CD out called Code Red with all new material.
And when is that coming out?
Say March. Spring 2014.
Man, because the tracks that you sent me are awesome. I'm like, I am engorged. I cannot wait to hear the rest of it. Let me just play a little bit of it. I have to go to commercial, but I'm going to play a little bit of it, just a little teaser to get everybody excited. This song is called Field of Light.
Field of Light, yeah.
Tone Music is a virtual candy store for guitarists and bass players. They're world famous for having the best selection of new and used and vintage guitars in the Los Angeles area. Located at 714 Santa Monica Boulevard in the city of Santa Monica, True Tone Music offers the widest selection of exceptionally high-quality guitars and basses. They stock name brands like Fender, Gibson, Guild, Epiphone, Gretsch, and much more. It's where the top names in the music industry shop for guitars, basses, amps, boutique pedals, and accessories. Whether you want to buy, sell, trade, get guitar lessons, or repairs, True Tone Music super cool staff is there to make your music come to life. They'll also match any online price and back it up with top-notch customer support and service. Visit them online at truetonemusic.com or call 310-393-8232. That's 310-393-8232. Ask for Ken. Tell him Oscar sent you, and he will set you up. Yes, he will. Yeah, man, I dig this, man. This is very cool, man. Professor, you have made some great art, man. I'm really digging it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really, really good stuff. So, tell me, what is in your gear rig right now? What are you using? What's your main guitar right now?
My main guitar is a Campbell American, made by Dean Campbell. Small company based in Massachusetts. Boutique company. He's very vintagey. He's very hands-on. He refuses to use cheap parts that don't sound good. It's not going into his guitars, and it's truly the best guitar I have ever had. Double necks are heavy. I really did in my back trying to I had a 3-week tour with Hiromi in Japan. It was 17 dates in 21 days, 2.5-hour shows just about every night, and I tried to stand for the whole thing. It really hurt my back. I was playing a great guitar. It was a Johann Gustafsson, an amazing guitar, but this Campbell American, it's just really warm, and the bottom neck, the top neck is a short scale fretless. The bottom neck is a regular 6-string. But it has a whammy, and the whammy usually thins the sound out. Dean is the first one who's been able to give it tone. I finally have tone.
That's good.
So I'm really thrilled about that one. I also have a single neck version. So those are the two main guitars I use.
Very cool. And so you're not using the Gustafsson anymore? You're just you replaced it because of back problems.
That was actually for sale. I'm looking for a home. I use guitars intensively for quite a while, and then I move on.
Right.
So the Gustafsson is very, very happy. It's very happy. It's very happening. But I just like the woods that are on the Campbell American.
Yeah. Well, they're this is the thing that guitar players have to deal with, and it's the reality of performing is having to actually hold it. There's one thing being at home and sitting on your lap and making some great guitar tones, but actually having to deal with 2-hour shows, or like in my case, I used to do 4 sets a night, 3 sets a night, long, sweaty.
Oh man.
That's just really, really rough. And so I'm glad you got a lighter guitar. It's better for your back.
Yeah, better. It's easier to play, and I'm glad you bring that up. There are a lot of very dedicated musicians, and they don't realize, you have to take care of yourself. If you play gigs and practice for more than 4 hours a day, you're practicing on an Olympic level.
Oh yeah.
I unfortunately, every semester I have 1 or 2 students who have playing-related injuries, and they need to realize that they have to have to exercise. They have to do something that's counter to playing to keep their bodies in tune.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
4 sets. Are you crazy?
Yeah, that was. I haven't done that in a few years, but there was a time when my band was playing all around L.A. It was just sweaty, long nights, and then and then midnight would roll around, and the crazy women would come in and want to hear, Brick House or something. It's just like, help man. So I'm going to ask you this: are you still using the Carvin Legacy?
I haven't used that in a while. I'm kind of shopping around. The Carvin Legacy is really funny. Every now and then I get someone throws an amp at me, and as it is, we're never happy. So I asked this guy, "What's your warmest tube sounding amp?" And he said, "You know what, the Legacy." So he sent it, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, here's a Steve Vai amp that I was using, and I was using it to play with Jack DeJohnette and to do these jazz gigs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is funny.
But because, the clean sound, and Steve Vai advertises, when you see those ads, Carvin, loudest, warmest tube sound I've ever had. It's really true.
Yeah. I always think of it more as dark than warm. He's got a darker tone, which offsets the way his hands have to do with it. You know what I mean? Like people when they touch the neck or they touch the strings, I think he has like this naturally treblier sound than most people, and his amp offsets that with a darker, warmer sound. That's my.
I think
opinion.
It also offsets the Floyd, because the Floyd really thins the sound out.
Yeah, that's true.
Once I got the Camel American, it was actually I really had to roll off most of the bass.
Mm-hmm.
I've been lately I've been using a Mark amp.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of Mark bass? Those bass amps?
Yes.
The same company has been venturing into the guitar amp arena, and they're pretty good. But I'm not sure if I've found a home there yet. I'm shopping around.
Very cool.
And whatever I do, I usually go on. When I go on the road, I go stereo anyway. So I ask for 2 different amps to kind of complement each other.
Yeah. Do you envy people who just find that one setup and they just stick to it and they're just happy? Because I do. I'm just very envious of those people. I can never be happy. I'll always be looking for something else.
Yeah, I do. But it's very important what you said about your hands. People don't realize you get your sound with your hands. I definitely, maybe not trebly, but I have a higher mid-range sound with my hands. I was hanging out with a friend, this guy Matt Henderson. You should check him out. An amazing player and writer. Very, very cool. And he picked up the guitar and played something, and I noticed right away the sound was a little darker. So we handed the guitar back. It was the same guitar, same cable, same pick. We kept trading, and we played the same pentatonic riff. And when he played it, it was a little beefier. It was this was that low mid bump.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that people should be aware of.
Yeah.
And I'm really going in the direction of I really want to get not just I feel like I have my own sound, but I really want to have my own tone. Something like when you hear Queen come on the radio and then Brian May plays,
right?
Something like that, or Hendrix, or these people with that. It's just such a signature thing.
Well,
that's one direction I'm going into.
Well, one thing I know though is that because I'm very hard on myself, and people tell me they know it's me. I'm not happy with myself, and I get the feeling that you would like kind of more of in your mind you'd like a more of a signature style. But I'm going to play this track here, and this is from KIF Express. Am I pronouncing that right, or is it KIF or K?
Yeah, Keef. Yeah,
Keef.
Yeah.
Which is that's a drug reference, isn't it?
Well,
I'm just saying.
I like to tell people that the oral, ORAL version is, of course, not allowed, But the aural version, AURAL version, you can get high on my recordings as much and as long as you want. That's the idea.
And I'm sure they do. This is called Moon Ring Bacchanal, and so you know what you can expect. See, that's you, man. I hear that. I know who it is. It's you, man.
Wow, thank you.
Very cool, man. See, that's you.
Thank you.
That's you. I know. It's you. Very cool. Oh, these people, they just love you. Sit down. I'm going to call security. Would you, lady, put your top back on. Okay, there you go. Thank you very much. These crazy people. So, what are you using in terms of effects pedals? Are you using rack stuff, or are you using just stomp box stuff?
Well, I have a basic setup where I have an Ernie Ball volume pedal, going into a Seymour Duncan twin tube classic. You know, a lot of distortion pedals are now using like these little tubes in them. Mm-hmm. So this one has like mini tubes. It's kind of retro-y, 70-ish sounding, kind of a fat distortion. It's two different settings. Mm-hmm. And I have a Seymour Duncan clean boost pedal. Since I do a lot of the non-Western stuff, it's not really. I love adding distortion, but sometimes there's really beautiful stuff with clean sound. So I just need a clean boost so I can, do a lead with a clean. I can do a clean lead that's on a louder volume. Mm-hmm. Then if my Boss DD3 pedal had him at Stone, I'd still be using it. Digital's away, but it's a DD7.
Yeah.
and that's the basic setup. Sometimes I add a wah-wah, sometimes something else.
Mm-hmm.
Then for Screaming Headless Torsos, I have that in front of a Vox multi effects pedal, and that's where although I'm shopping around for new stuff, but I'm just looking for something that that has, it has like all the choruses and pitch shifting and kind of electronic-y sounds. So I have a basic thing, and then that added on to a multi-effects unit.
Very cool. Well, you sound great, man. You make great choices, and your records sound great. Live, you sound great. I want to thank you for coming on the show. I'm really grateful for you to be here. That's about it. You can come on my show anytime, and I would love to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, say thank you to David Fuze. Set mind to purpose and visit him at torsos.com and purchase every piece of music he has ever written. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, Music Connection Magazine. Visit them at musicconnection.com. Also, True Tone Music at truetonemusic.com, making your music come to life. And last but not least, Mojave Amp Works. Visit the Oasis of Tone at mojaveampworks.com. Donate $30 or more to Oscar's Guitar Shop and be entered into the Oscar's Guitar Shop sweepstakes. The winner will win a 1-year subscription to Music Connection Magazine and an analog mic modded Boss DS1 distortion pedal. Go to oscarsguitarshop.com. Do it and win. Tune in next week when our guest will be guitar pickup tone icon Seymour Duncan. Take care of yourselves. Be nice to each other. See you next week. Same bat time. Same bat channel.